All right, I'm going to show you how to quickly use the runtime feature for texture blending and directional blood here. So I'm going to use the axe number 1 because it's already here. I'll select axe 1 and I'm going to export two versions. I'll do a clean version and an old dirty version. So I'm going to make sure the damage blend is set to 0 here, and I'm going to make sure my top level material is selected, window, save texture. Alright, that process can take a while, but of course now we have our Axe 1 material here with the values we set. So we're going to go back and do that for the second one. We're going to change the damage blend to 1. You should see it updated. There we go. And just for fun, we're going to move the inner blade. Let's just desaturate that a bunch as well. Desaturate all the way, and we'll add one more thing. We'll add some surface dirt. Got a whole bunch of surface dirt. Too much. Alright, about there. That's good. Alright, let's export that. Alright, now we have our two materials here. So in my hierarchy, let me separate these two. Okay, in my hierarchy, I have my axe object here. This is our demo scene that comes with the package. We're going to bring in our runtime texture blend material onto that. So we're going to bring the material itself, that's the part with the circle, onto all three of the objects. Now it's going to be black to start, or gray, or whatever it ends up being, because there's no inputs. We select this here, we have material 1, material 2, and the blend amount. Material 1 and 2 each select accept an albedo opacity, normal, metallic roughness, ambient occlusion, and height. And lucky for us, it's exactly what we have here exported. So we have an albedo opacity. We have our ambient occlusion down here, our normal here, and our height map, and metallic roughness. So there's our export map. Now if we blend between the second one, it goes to 0 because we do have to fill in material 2. So let's select our second material, albedo opacity, ambient occlusion, height, metallic roughness, and our normal. And now we can simply blend between the two and go from clean to damage. Now, in your game, you can code this. Perhaps it goes up 1% every time the axe is used. And so in the inventory screen, it slowly gets more and more damaged and used. And you can, of course, adjust all the settings for the roughness, add different amounts of dirt, different color dirts, and all that. In this scene, there's a lot of light, so it's extra shiny. In other scenes, it wouldn't be quite as shiny. It's reacting to two directional lights at this point, I believe, and the scene light as well. So next, let's do the procedural runtime directional blood. Again, we'll bring this onto the object. This requires a material, of course, our inputs right here, and so let's start with that. Again, we'll bring in our maps. And currently it looks like it's covered by blood, but that's because we need a positional map. We do provide the positional maps for all of our objects. So this is Axe 1. We're going to bring the position map into that spot. And now you can see that the blood's coming from this direction, it looks like. So right here we have our axis. We have all three axes in their inverts as well. So if we choose X invert, it should come to the other side. And then if we choose Y, and Y invert will be at the top, and Z at the back, and Z invert is looking like what we want. We want the blood to come from the blade. There's a lot of options here. The height controls how far up the blade the blood will go. The level is pretty much how thick it is. It also works as height. Make it super thick, then it's just going to cover the whole thing. But if you make it less thick, then the height has more control. And then the contrast itself, you can bring the contrast up or down to make it more contrasted. And then the level works with that as well. So you want to get a balance that works right for the look you're going for. So bring the contrast fairly high, the height up a little and the level up a little right there. You can then change the color, so if you want like goblin blood that's green or blue or something like that, or maybe you just happen to dip your axe in paint, you've got yellow paint. We're going to do actual legit blood though. We'll do some red blood, and then we're going to change the roughness value. We're going to make this a little wet blood, so a little more rough. We'll make it 0.26. That looks good to me. And there you go. So now in code for this one, basically, if I were making maybe an RPG, every time I hit an enemy, I would immediately bring the height up to 5 or 0.5 or whatnot, and then maybe over the next 3 seconds just slowly fade it out back to the normal weapon, and then boom, right back up there, and then fade it out every time he hits, just as an indication that you hit somebody. You can do that via code. It's fast, of course. It's fast in the editor. It's pretty much instant in the editor, and you see the slide immediately. It's also fast in the game and on mobile. The resources, of course, are a little tougher on mobile, but it should be fine for most games. So there you go. Enjoy.